Don't break them.
Can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. Anyway, we're live. Hi, everyone.
We're live. Hello.
We are.
All right. We are back. It's Friday, so we're playing Heart. Might be the last session tonight, but you guys always manage to surprise me, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so last time we picked up with the squid body that you guys were inside of falling apart and destroying Hun Station. And then it created a rift into an alternate plane called the Gasling plane, where it's basically its infinite flesh is just burning off and creating a sea of ash, and it's full of all these squid monster things. And a bunch of people that are just chilling there and wanted you to stay and kind of relax, because it is one of the most friendly tier 3 places to be in the Heart.
Listen, I've got mixed feelings on this place, because one, I've got a really cool fucking barrel. But two, Genevieve hates that one fucking lady, and I don't like anyone that Genevieve doesn't like. So it's mixed bag.
Keep is a strong word.
You
Is
can
that why we
take
can't
the
be
barrel
friends?
with you anywhere.
Oh, I didn't even think about taking the barrel with me.
Take the barrel with you.
Holy
Home
shit.
is where the barrel is.
We could just put some straps on it and you could wear it.
It's like
Barrels
pants.
are made to be portable.
That's right.
Yeah.
You could eat the barrel,
is
and
the
it'll
thing
be
that
one
barrels
with you
do.
forever.
Yes.
No,
That's
I've
true.
made
But yeah.
that mistake before with wood. It comes out eventually. It tries, at least.
Yeah.
Splintery.
It'll come out eventually once there's some surgery applied. We found that out.
It's all about the angle that it comes out. But yeah, so we left off with you guys hearing this tale from old Tippers, who said he saw a big beast in the water and he wanted you to come help. He talked about seeing a large obelisk as well, which Jake thinks was the ward stone that so many deep apiarists like to worship. And you confirmed it was such as you drove out on, well, say, boated out, I guess,
Barreled
to
out.
it. And and barreled out, boated and barreled your way over to it. And we ended with the large cinder whale making a ramming path towards your guys' little fishing boat. And that's when we'll pick up. We'll do our character introductions, and then we'll get straight into it. Zoom order again. So Chuck,
What?
who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Zerl the Face Fister. I fist faces. I am covered in butter and flies. And I've got great pecs, and an old lady once painted an inappropriate picture of me, and it was amazing. That's me. Hello.
Those are all accurate. All right. John,
You
who
forgot
are you
your
playing?
horde of followers.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have a cold,
playing
too.
Sir. Yes, he does. I'm playing Sir Galvin, the Vermisian Knight, and I have basically my steam-powered suit of space armor, and I now have added. Well, it's not so much that I added something, but I now am very good at holding my breath while doing things as well. So I am pretty environmentally sealed for the most part.
Good. All right. April, who are you playing?
Hi. I'm playing Genevieve. She is a junk mage who has a cave dog, a very sweet little pitty-looking thing. And Zerl's her best friend, her best hype man.
You've got a vulture mole.
And a
fucking
vulture
robot
mole. Oh
dog.
yeah, that thing's still tied up. Well, that's
That's 50. That's really more Sir Galvin.
yeah.
We like
With
to claim
weird
it, but
little-
yeah, it's Sir Galvin's.
It's squid with its weird eyes.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
that it's got tentacles.
He's
now,
still on
too.
there.
I've seen enough Defenders of Cobalt to know where that's going.
Right onto an
Jake.
orphan's skull to eat it. I will be playing Devoran, who is a deep apiarist who has forsaken his life of scientific endeavors in pursuit of the glory of the almighty hexagon. And now he is going to meet with the Dark Queen. It's going to be a beautiful day where chaos and order become one.
Hexagons are the best guns. All right. And then Daniel.
I am playing Theo, our basically heretic hound with 4 arms and a hex eye and all sorts of things going wrong in his life. Right in his life? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I actually had a crazy idea occur to me like while we were talking here even about what to do with my Zenith. So
it'll be fun, I'm sure. But yeah, Dan, our multi-armed, multi-dimensional eye, multi-classing, yeah, all sorts of great stuff. Yeah, so we pick up. You guys are all on a fishing boat. You see the fin of a cinder whale surface in the water after it kind of shook your boat a little bit after going underneath. Swims around, banks off of there's kind of like this vortex thing going on around this big ward stone.
I would like to interrupt this description to point out a fun thing in chat. I was in very much detail describing how I am tonguing each of my Ferrero Rochers to death.
definitely.
If Bert
That's a
shows up,
much better
Jesse's
way
like,
of
what the fuck
putting
did I
it.
walk into? So if you're not watching Defenders of Kobold live,
What are you doing with your life?
what are you doing with yourself?
Yep.
Continue.
It's
Missing out on
multi-level
things that
experience.
you wish you'd missed out on.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we ended with the cinder whale going underneath your guys' boat, banking off of this big vortex that's kind of swirling around this obelisk. Also hinting to the fact that you were told that it's pretty hard to leave the gasoline plane, especially because most of the people here don't really want to, because it's one of the only safe places this close to the heart. But every so often there is kind of portals or holes that open up in the bottom of this ash sea. And this obelisk poking through is probably a good indication of one of these many holes. So it banks off this vortex, comes back around, and you see it charging straight for your guys' boat. What do you do? Does anyone have anything in particular? See, it's kind of got its mouth open just slightly.
What is this? A whale or vortex?
It's like a giant cinder whale. So you guys are like a little bit outside of the tug of this vortex. It's not super intense right now. You can see that it's kind of swirling around this obelisk, but not enough to really, pull you in just yet.
Can I throw one of my followers at it?
Yes. So actually, you see that the followers were never really allowed on board. They didn't really like them back at the main village, but they've broken a piece off of Hun Station that came through the wreckage, and they've just kind of been paddling it manually behind you guys.
You there with the mustache? Come here real quick.
And then they very happily and eagerly paddle and waddle their way through the water towards you.
Well, I grab him and scoop him up by the ankles and just yeet him at the vortex.
At the vortex?
Yes.
Not even at the whale? Okay.
Wait, there's a difference.
Yeah, so there's like an obelisk coming out of the water,
All
and
right.
then a vortex going around that, and then there's a separate thing charging you, which is a big
So the
cinder whale.
vortex is in the air.
It's in the water. Like you guys
at the
are
bottom of
on
the obelisk. Like
Yeah.
that.
like a drain.
Like a drain focused around the obelisk. It's like if you put a toothbrush in your bathtub drain and then let all the water out, just like that.
Just
Yeah.
like that.
I didn't think Zero knew what a toothbrush was.
Listen,
I didn't think you knew what a bath was.
listen.
He's probably eaten a toothbrush or two in his
I
time.
have.
true.
Genevieve just
Fair,
keeps coming
fair.
at me like, you gotta brush those fucking teeth because I
I
can still
assume he
see
drinks
fingers in
that
there.
one.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, and I threw it in a bathtub.
You ever heard of flossing?
No.
Yes.
The only
Obelisk.
flossing I do is with my G-string. Thank you very much.
And the dance. of
Oh
course.
no. Oh yeah. And then the cinder whale it looks like a whale, but it's kind of got like cracked, almost lava like skin charging
Okay,
at you.
well then,
So
I aim at the whale and I fucking yeet that follower clear over there.
okay. This would probably be. I mean, what are you trying to attempt with this? Are you trying to like get the whale to eat him and leave you guys alone, or are you trying to throw him as an attack? Like,
I'm just seeing what happens. This is experimental.
See what happens.
Like
okay.
scientifically probing a rectum. Like, you just gotta throw it in there and see how it handles it. Well, you know what? An eggplant was too much. We better tone it back a little bit. Half of a follow.
It's not really a good test for this, so I'll just say make a kill test.
Yeah.
Kill. This is desolate.
So are you
It's
telling me that
pronounced
Toronto under their doom is there's no good test for that?
Well, I would think that considering the probing was involved, Delve might be a good one.
I passed with the failure, just so you know.
Okay. So you grab your follower and you just throw him into the water in front of you. He doesn't quite make it to the whale. And it's charging. He does get scooped into the mouth of the whale, though.
Does he choke?
I'll say you're going to take some...
After it chokes, does it call me daddy?
Chuck,
Now you gotta-
grounded.
You have to spit in its mouth first.
We'll give you
let's
some
follow it all
fortune
fast.
stress for that. This
That
is
sounds fine.
I believe this is a D6 where you guys are at. I should have had that prepared. Yeah, it's only a D6 here. So D6 fortune stress.
Oh, yeah, you want me to roll shit. No thanks.
Yep.
D6. That's 4.
To fortune.
Fortune.
Oh, you threw the guy that carried all the money in.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh, shit, that's right. I forgot I asked him to carry my wallet.
Now we're just
As
kind
he's
of
swallowed.
it back.
God damn it.
But you do confirm it does seem to be like charging to try and swallow the ship or eat you guys or something.
Things bad, guys. I think I figured it out.
Can you throw the squid on top of its head?
Give me a squid.
That's a great idea.
Come here,
Unless you
sweetie.
want to, Sir Galvin. It's your squid.
Actually, no, it's your squid. It's following you. It's just riding on Waldo.
I'm so goddamn popular. Fuck.
You are. Look at the way it makes those eyes at you.
Those blazing, glazed pectorals.
It's very out of
Look
sync.
at these things.
Blinking
Buttered
eyes.
up.
I just imagine that the eyes are just kind of drifting around and then they just focus on those pegs.
I do that Terry Crews thing. where I make
Surgical
them-
dividing line.
I'm gonna. Before I do that, though, I do want to stick my head in the water and take a couple drinks.
Okay. It's basically just ash,
Okay.
but you can do so.
I feel like it's a Wednesday. Come on, let's do
If you
this.
didn't
thing.
have the desolate domain before,
I got
you
it now.
do.
Doing the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm so
Spicy
thirsty.
cinnamon. What?
All right, I'm gonna throw a squid.
You ever tried to drink powder?
All right, listen, squid, get your tentacles out of my mouth. That's not what we're doing right now.
Save it for later.
No, don't save it for later. You taste like shit. Like, really. I hate calamari.
Who's doing what?
I'm
Who's
throwing a squid, Joe. That's what I'm doing. And I'm
throwing the
using our
squid.
last
Okay.
banked advantage.
I'm.
I'll
How
have you
close
do
are we
the
getting
same.
to this vortex?
Not very. Like,
Okay.
he wasn't trying to like drive you guys into it, but it wouldn't take very long to paddle into it if you wanted to.
I got a success. I throw the squid at the whale.
Okay. So you just kind of grab the squid off of the robot dog, who's been kind of trying to bond to it, but it's metal. So suction cups unpucker and you throw it. It's a wet slap to the head of it. And you got one success. Yeah,
I got a success. I mean,
just a success.
There's no way to get more than one, I don't think.
yeah. I mean,
That's
this
right.
is a
I've been
yes or no.
writing
or
my
maybe
game
not.
rules for my own system too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is on the thing. It looks like the skull and the proportions that this squid's meant to eat the head of is more like humanoid. So it might take a while to get all the way through the
Act hungry.
brain and skull of this whale, but it's attempting to do so. You see it's making that same similar. It's got its little feet kind of pincered into it, and it's pecking away with its beak.
Squids don't
Maybe
have
we
feet.
can shoot it in the face and make a hole for it to get in there.
Could do that.
Go into the
It
blowhole.
is still
Right.
not changed its course, though.
All right, Sir Galvin is going to ready his drill and get ready to jump at it when it's near enough.
I was going to ask
Okay.
about juicing up, but that's all right. We'll just
Oh,
do it right.
Juice it up.
absolutely. Now, like,
right.
offer my back for you to like put your gun on.
I will move to the back of the boat.
Electricity.
That's right. And then the other thing.
Oh, do a D4 of stress against it with that there, Chuck.
Oh, yeah. Roll
Four,
a 4,
okay.
because I'm great.
There we go.
Been munching on robot dog, which isn't very filling. So
True.
It isn't.
it's hangry.
Okay. Who's doing what?
I'm shooting.
You said you going to shoot it? All right.
I'm gonna let him anchor to my or draw power from my suit.
We're making
Okay.
mistakes left and right.
So, him drawing power from you, that's going to do a D6 of supplies stress to you.
Me?
But Dan, that lets you power up. Yeah.
Do I get to use
D6
him as a help die, or just that I get to do more damage?
It ups your. You could do him as a help die, and it raises the die as well with it
I
having
need-
power.
Everything I can get to make this successful. Hey, a
There you go.
success.
Awesome.
And because I got a
Hey,
success,
one stress,
I
that's not
get
bad.
to roll a d12 for damage.
Wait, why did Sir Galvin roll a stress?
He did.
So Sir Galvin takes stress from
Oh, the battery.
power.
Battery.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like a big charged up railgun thing that he's powering off of Sir Galvin's suit.
3. Thank goodness I get to re-roll that. There we go.
Nice.
11.
11 piercing damage.
All right.
That's impressive.
That is a good deal.
Good too.
And you see that the piercing is definitely useful as
Oh, get 'em,
it's got a pretty
swimmer.
thick, like, it is a whale, but it seems like the surface of its skin looks kind of like dried lava magma almost. So it's got this like thick rocky exterior almost.
Made some lotion.
But it just punches straight through that rock. You see like a tiny hole for a bit as it lines up. You can almost see the sky behind it. But... All right. It is still getting at you guys. It hasn't reached the boat yet, but it is still like on course to intercept you guys. And it looks probably big enough to eat the whole boat.
That Nick?
I will fire an annihilation attack at this critter.
We're gonna
Okay.
need big boat.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just saying, Genevieve, you should go stab that thing.
I did not mean
Stab
to
it.
click roll
What?
fallout.
I have no pokies.
That's fine.
You don't have a knife?
I don't have a knife.
What domain is this again?
Potato.
I still have a flesh harvesting tool you can use.
Hey, there you go.
And would this be considered a heart's-blooded creature?
Yes.
In that case, I will roll a d8 against it, thanks to annihilation.
Nice.
Or with the word that you don't have a knife, Genevieve, I will give you my hunting knife. It is a kill D6 hunting. What the fuck are you doing, kid?
In case this whale comes for us, here's a knife.
Is that okay? So it's a D. That's 7 stress against it.
Yes.
Okay. Does it have piercing or anything?
Ranged, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Still a good chunk of damage. It would be bloodied at this point.
Oh, that's from 4th edition.
Yes.
Heart 4th edition.
I guess helpful enough we can catch them with our Pokeballs.
I like it.
Does anybody have
Still on
you,
course,
giant
has
fire
not-
asshole whale.
It looks like it's getting pretty close to where you guys are at on the boat. So if you guys do not move, probably within like the next action or two.
I've got some miscellaneous parts. Could I slap them on my drill real quick and then try to stick my drill in the ashy mess and try to use it like a
Absolutely.
propeller?
Yeah.
Wasn't even.
I'll give you an advantage die for doing that too, because last time you used your drill as a propeller, but using these extra parts definitely will.
All right, what do I need to roll?
This would be a. We'll see.
So glad you did that. I was about to jump in this thing's mouth, so good job.
Probably an evade, because you're using this to like move the boat out of the way. So
Okay.
say evade desolate with advantage
It's
All
pronounced
right, and
Ibane.
standard difficulty?
or mastery, but yes, standard.
Success.
Critical
Shit.
success.
Nice.
All right. So with one success or with a base success, you would just get out of the way. With a critical success, I'm going to have you position yourself however you want with this bow. Like, are you trying to get right alongside of it? Where would you be aiming?
Let's get it right alongside of it because that's going to put us like out of its ability to bite us. We're going to try to kind of be inside of its turn.
All right. So you launch the boat. Your drill working pretty good as a propeller there. And as you pull along the side of the whale, something you notice is there's a big like piece of metal or something that's wedged into the body, like the side of this whale, possibly aggravating it. Because you see it's like kind of poking out of the water just a little bit, but it looks like almost a support beam or like something that you recognize from the railways and such.
Cyril,
It's like
pull
maybe
that
a
out.
piece of debris or something.
I do exactly what he tells me to do.
Okay.
What am I doing?
You see that there's like a piece, maybe a piece of Hun station or something like. There's like this big chunk of metal debris that's lodged into the body of this whale.
Oh
like,
yeah, I
sticking out of
fucking
it.
dive on that giant thorn and I rip that fucker out.
All right. This will be. We'll do a delve test.
All right.
Delve,
Delve.
desolate.
And desolate.
And it's going to be risky with just
You're
the timing the boat and the moving whale, all that.
Listen here. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
double tens.
Wow.
And a 1.
You easily are able to rip it out. It's longer than you were expecting.
That's what she said.
And you pull this chunk. It's like it looks to be just a piece of like a support structure
Yeah.
that was holding the station together before, and it had like pierced into the body a little bit, maybe into like one of its organs or something. But it seems to be like it kind of roars a little bit in pain. But you notice that it slows down a little bit. It almost starts to sink back into the water just
So
a
either
bit.
A, we've made it not angry. B, we've deflated all of it and it's dead. Or C, I forgot what C was. Either way, this giant fucking spike I throw at the obelisk.
Okay. Make a kill test. This will be kill risky.
The name of the game
Occult.
is Yeet.
Either desolate or occult.
Yeah, I'm great at both of those. Am I great at both of those?
Sure.
I'm gonna go with desolate.
Maybe.
Because I'm the only thing I know I have is cursed, and everything else I just get by eating shit.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is yeets.
All right. You throw it, and it pings into the side of this structure. Roll your stress. This will be a d6.
Yeah. That was a 6.
6. So a sizable chunk of like the rock. Jake, you see a sizable chunk of the stone get blasted off by this piece of debris as Zerl hucks a large structural support beam into your
Zerl,
religious pilgrimage.
Just so we're clear, that's blasphemy. You can't do that. It's
I
blasphemy.
thought your goddamn mom was in there and I was trying to help. Like, you like B Mama or something like that. Or
You know
Jerry
what?
Seinfeld or something. I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair. You were trying to help. I'm sure the queen understands.
Yeah, I was.
Should we
Kill your friend.
go into the vortex? Because that's probably an indicator that there's like a portal to somewhere else.
Fucking Taco Bell. Let's go.
The Mario B levels.
There could
As
be a
you hop
Taco
back
Bell
on
inside
there.
the obelisk. It could be a sacred Taco Bell with hexagons and honey. That would be great.
So either
It's a
we got
sacred
two
Taco
options
Bell.
here. We just fucking swan dive and go to Taco Bell and we all get some fucking of those like cheesy crunch tacos or whatever they got right now.
I've seen Taco Bell attached to weirder things.
Right.
so-
I mean, like,
True.
It's a sacred Taco Bell. It's the only one that won't
Sacred
give you the
Taco Bell.
shits.
I don't believe
Yeah.
that. No, but it's one of those combos like
That's
Real
impossible.
estate
Taco
is
Bell
wild
slash
here.
Spencer
It'll give you
Gifts.
the shits, but it'll be one of those like really profound ones you have on the toilet where you learn something
Like
about
fucking
yourself.
Jesus is like made
And
in like
insightful.
corn bits.
Yep.
Yeah.
But as you
work of
hop
art.
back onto the boat, Chuck,
Yeah.
you guys are talking about whether or not you should go into the vortex. You see that the whale fully like descends underneath the water
I'm just saying, I killed a
and
whale.
starts to win. It seems to be
spinning.
like bleeding a little bit. Like you see this
Bleeding.
kind of like bright red cinder type like material spilling out. It looks to be its blood.
How close
not
is
enough
that
for it to be fatal.
blood in the thing to me?
Pretty close. It's like
Can I
a trail of it.
stick my
Give it
head
some.
and drink some of it?
Sure.
I do that. I drink the
Okay.
whale blood.
Are you able to get another domain from it?
No,
Or okay,
but it's it's.
you
I'm
just
cool.
do. It's very similar to the previous ashy drink, but it's a little bit warmer.
It's like someone burnt a bunch of pennies. It's fine.
Yeah, a little bit like that, but dustier.
Yeah, a bunch of burnt, dusty pennies.
Yeah. You see the
Like
whale
lump
begins to kind of spin like along the edge of this
Hmm.
vortex, speeding it up.
I remember
You
I had
see-
a good idea. Hey,
Well,
we fucking ram the obelisk because this fucking like whirlpool goes down, right? And the thing is like this. So we ram the obelisk and we make a bridge with us or the ship, so that way we can like just walk on the ship to the obelisk. But we have to be going fast enough to like Dukes of Hazzard that like event horizon. So we go boop right to it. Or we just go down to the fucking Spencer Gift Taco Bell at the bottom of this
I think
vortex.
Event Horizon's the most sophisticated thing Zerl has ever said in his life.
Hey, I like Sam Neill. Go fuck yourself.
Fly
Put the
to
pencil
the obelisk
papers
like bees.
like this, and that's how we get there.
You put the fucking
You
like
get the
obelisk
sense-
together like this,
That's exactly what I was going for.
and then
You get the sense that you would have had to have done some swimming or such. Like, it looks like it is draining where this obelisk is. And you would have had to swim through this ashy sea to get to the bottom. But looks like the whale is assisting you now that it's been healed. And it's picking up speed on this vortex.
Well, I
And
guess now
the
we're-
angle is starting to get a little bit more intense. There's a bit of a current that's slightly dragging you guys in. And you see that the water level is kind of lowering and lowering at the center point. And as it parts in the middle, you see there's this kind of ring around the obelisk that opens up. And you see like metal hallways and things twisting on the inside. It looks kind of like Vermisian tech or something. Looks very familiar to you.
we go in the vortex already. How did this happen?
You guys are basically on the edge of this vortex.
Looking
The
down.
whale's swimming quickly, and it's speeding up the vortex, which now is revealing the bottom of the sea here, where
Wow,
this
this
obelisk is
giant
poking up.
opening in the bottom of this thing. Like, just imagine, like, if like a farm animal here, and like what all a goat would see for this. John fucking
I'm
got
not-
it. Thank you, John.
Time to go get a drink. I'm not drunk enough for this.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I know, right?
First, we were
Yeah.
putting things together. Now we're just kind of slightly pulling them apart.
This current's picking up, pulling your boat into it, and your boat begins to swirl around the edge.
Can you do what you need to do with that obelisk and probably get back here
Yeah,
before we hit
get
the
your
bottom
mom
there?
out of it real quick so we can
Before,
go.
Sure, absolutely. I'm sure there's some technological Taco Bell inside if you want any, Zerl. Feel free to come along. I'm going to head in. I'm going to
Genevieve,
commune with
come
the Dark
on.
Queen.
I know you like Crunchwrap Supremes. Don't fuck around.
As soon as you guys two begin to enter this vortex, you see that old man Tippers, who's still in the boat with you. He just goes and grabs there's like this reel that's extended from the main ships so they don't lose their way. He's like, I don't want to go wherever that's going, so this is where I depart. And he just detaches that from the back of the boat and jumps into the water and starts reeling himself back.
What?
you know who's going to go through that before we do, Zerl?
Who?
Your followers, because they have no propulsion of their own.
Goodbye.
They don't. So your followers are like on the opposite side of this vortex, swirling their way down. And they've got a bit more mass to them, so they're being dragged quite a bit quicker.
Order us some number 4s. We'll be there in a bit to pay for it. No worries. Don't worry.
I prefer the number 7 with a soft shell.
Get us a Baja Blast. Large.
Fire
You
sauce.
see-
Lots of fire sauce.
As their kind of rafts of just debris from Hun Station gets to the bottom here and begins to tip into this opening, they start jumping, and a few of them they're kind of like trying to aim into this opening next to the obelisk. Some of them
Okay.
hit the obelisk and then catapult into parts of this opening and are just split apart on just random bits of the wall that are kind of sticking out a little
I
bit.
really am. That fucker just like head first right into the stone. Like,
So a few of them you see pretty violently get blended, but the majority of them just kind of fall into this tunnel and you hear them scream and fade out.
listen, Sir Galvin. Listen, usually, I know I'm a lot of bluster and bravado, but I know like Sir Galvin says we should do this. I'm all on board for it because, like, you know, they pay me to look good and they pay you to think good, right?
Sure, someone's getting paid.
We're
But
getting paid for this?
listen,
Right.
listen. I'm pretty sure you're the one who told us to go down in that hole.
Uh-huh.
That's a bad idea.
Well, it's because they're hitting the thing. They're not actually going in the hole. I mean, they're going in the hole after, but
I think we should go high five the fucking rock.
we
Proud
can do that.
myself.
I think
The whale
Devorin has some things he
Yeah.
needs to do there. I don't know that we're going to get much of a chance to because this thing is sucking us down to the hole pretty quick. But
You do see that the obelisk extends. Jake, what you know of this obelisk is that it's usually like a pretty tall stone that extends out of the earth. You've never seen it in a setting like this or heard of it in a setting like this. And it seems to descend into this tunnel. It's not like resting on something in the ocean here. Like, this obelisk is much longer than you know of. And you can't see the bottom of it yet. It's all that same kind of pale stone with inscriptions on it.
So into the tunnel would lead me into the obelisk is what I'm getting at here.
Along the side of it, yeah. It seems to be like this tunnel's like cylindrical descending, and obelisk is kind of in the center of it.
Takes a long time to get to Taco Bell,
Yeah.
and it's Nougaty Center.
Yeah, you have to enter the floor level, then you have to go up about 400 or 500 stories, and then there's the food court.
you got to hit the drive-through.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I like drive-throughs.
They always take forever, though.
What?
They always take forever, though.
Oh, that's
They
what
do.
escalators are for.
But I mean,
As
you
you
gotta point
guys-
a gun at them and they'll hurry up.
Circle, get lower and lower and closer. You get to about the part where you saw
Dude,
the
what did
raft
you
of your
say? Was it
followers.
illegal?
It might have been, but it does bring your drive-through time from like 15 minutes to like 12.
Or about like, you
Ashley
know,
isn't listening right now.
6 to 10 years, I guess you could say.
This is the one time
like
you're
that.
concerned about that?
There's a lot that I say that isn't correct, but advising people to get better drive-through times with fucking goddamn
Holding up
Ruger
a-
is not the way to do it.
It's not.
It is not. Please don't do that
That's what the
don't.
lobby's for.
unless you're
The
bringing me
official
something.
Defenders of Cobalt line is that we don't support gun violence.
We do not support gun violence
Yes.
in real life.
But
Yes.
continue to circle the vortex. The
Do you want me to just
bit of
power us in there?
debris that's been mostly torn up and fallen into the tunnel. You don't see any of your followers left. A few of them they made it without dying. A few got kind of blended up along the edges of this tunnel. You guys are getting about to the point where the raft started to hit the bottom. So I'll say if anyone's wanting to do anything to control the boat, you can do that.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to jump from the boat in, that would be a either an evade or a delve test.
I am actually going to just, since I got my drill prop in the water here, I'm going to try to just like direct us in as best I can.
I'll use
Sure.
my, I'll bend up the quote unquote pedals of my flower saw to sort of help with the propulsion.
I've got
All
my
right.
fancy dimensional navigation vision goggles.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll
I'm
say with
full
all that.
sending it.
Yeah. We'll say I'll have the three of you. I'll need 2 successes out of the 3 of you. Dan, Jake, and John. To John, you're trying to kind of like pilot it
Yeah.
and steer it correctly. Jake, you're helping with a rudder, and then Dan, you're kind of going to be calling out navigation as you can kind of see where the water's shifting a little bit ahead of it. So for a lot of you, you can either make I guess Dan, you'd be a discern. So be discern, desolate, or technology. And then John, this would be either a delve or an evade, desolate or technology.
I
And
did
then
my
Jake,
part.
same thing, delve or evade, desolate or technology.
I
What's
got
the
the failure
difficulty?
out of the way. So,
And this is standard with a lot of you working together.
what is the stress die for not doing good at this?
And this is a D6, and it'll be mind.
Oh, good. I get to roll that as a D4.
All right.
3.
Okay. You do get your 2 successes, though. So success at a cost and success. So, Dan, as you're trying to like use your hexi to pilot you guys, the reason why this is mind stress, for you at least, it is for the lot of you, but Dan especially, as your eye is watching this vortex and you're trying to plot your way along it, as your eye kind of drifts over to this obelisk, you see it is much larger in every other dimension. You see multiple layers of these inscriptions. They're moving rapidly. It's almost this kaleidoscope kind of space bending thing that's going on. You hear it trying to whisper to you almost. So it's just this huge information overload as your eye drifts into it.
My brain.
But you guys do get your 2 successes. So you are able to successfully kind of rudder and steer the entire boat as you fall into the opening of this tunnel. And so you all are clutching the boat. Gravity kind of warps itself a little bit, and you see into the tunnel. A few of your followers are kind of scattered out here and there, check. And the boat falls and then spins a little bit and then lands and slides down. And you safely exit in these giant winding tunnels that
I thought
remind
we
you
were
of...
high-fiving the fucking obelisk.
No, you guys were
We're
able
going
to
down
steer...
Down into the tunnels.
Yeah, you guys basically steered into
It's like
the gap.
Fallout Boy told me. We're going down. That wasn't them. Doesn't matter.
And a lot of you will all kind of recognize these tunnels as just your standard Vermissian, train
Exactly.
hallways, tunnel. They're a little bit more built up than
It's
normal.
Fallout Boy.
But John, you would immediately know where you are.
Ooh, where are we?
This is known as Terminus.
Ooh.
And Terminus is basically, you're not quite in the center of it yet, but you know that you're on the outskirts. It's the only place that looks like this. And Terminus is basically like the crown jewel or heart of the Vermissian network of rails. You're in one of the connecting tunnels that will eventually lead you into like the main rail train switching station that's supposed to direct to anywhere in the heart.
Okay.
Or at least that's what it was planned to be. There's all sorts of different tales of how far along they got in that process, so no one's too sure. It's pretty hard to get down here. People wind up here by accident sometimes, but it's a very large network. But you do recognize that's where you are.
Yep.
And we
Well,
start our delve.
We ended up in Terminus.
What? I didn't vote for this. What are the walls made out of?
It's like this metal. You're basically in a metal tunnel, and in the center of this tunnel is this obelisk, and it's kind of hovering there, suspended in the air.
I don't want to go unprepared, so like.
Are you say this is a train station? Are there any benches here where people might sit?
Oh, this is a train station.
You do see like benches or seats here and there, little cutaways for maintenance access and stuff here and there.
I'll notice
it's not like
Zerl
a
kind of
perfectly
sniffing
smooth.
the air for something to eat, and I'll point out one of the seats, and I'll be like, I think that's edible.
I got this. I have been preparing for this for the entire campaign. I pull out one of my unpunched Vermissian tickets
It's time.
and I eat it.
All right, you gain the technology domain.
Fuck yeah.
Wild.
Listen,
Just looking Sir Galvin in the face, wadding it up and shoving it in his mouth. Like,
It's-
Sir Galvin,
it's paper,
respectfully,
it's-
I gotta eat this shit.
I understand, Zero. I understand.
This is one of the things that's closest to being edible at some point. I mean, it's paper, so that's kind of biomaterial.
It's better than most things that go in his
It's
mouth.
like a
so-
salad.
Yeah.
It's probably the most edible thing he's
Devorin,
actually straight.
You watch your mouth, young man.
Yes, sir.
Dare you say I would eat a salad?
Would you like some honey on your ticket?
Yeah, just squeeze it in my mouth.
Okay, and I'll puke some honey on this ticket.
So sweet. Thank you.
Where did you squeeze the honey out of?
It's just part of what the bees are using to counteract the whole nightmarish amber forest that's growing in my body.
My lips have never felt fresher. Fucking suck it, Burt's Bees. You need to get you some Devorin. It's amazing.
It's
Those
also
guys
handy
are-
to get burned.
Study this obelisk.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Do something with this.
this obelisk seems to like continue through here, and it's very strange. Where it's another one of these things where you look at it, it seems to be in some like extra dimensional space because there are bends and twists in these hallways. But when you look at the obelisk, you don't see where it bends or breaks. It looks to be just solid and straight the entire time that you're following it.
It doesn't
It's kind of hard
seem
to wrap
to
your head
be.
around.
It is.
But yeah. You don't see any seams. You don't see like where it should bend, but it seems to follow this tunnel system that you're going through. And occasionally you get to a place where there's kind of a fork and there'll be some other split off tunnels, but you can definitely see where this obelisk is going and you're able to follow that. And after you make it past your maybe second or third junction here, you guys hear more than just your own footsteps. Hear like clinking of metal maybe small footsteps, lots of just tapping. And you look around to see what the source is. And looks like at first you see some shapes and shadows kind of moving along the ceiling and then along the ground and coming out of every nook and cranny here. Maybe with spiders at first, but they're not enough legs for them to be spiders. You just see, as they get closer, they look to be more humanoid shaped. Seems like Vermisian tech kind of shaped like people, but they're all kind of bent in odd ways here and there. And you'd recognize these, John, as Vermisian husks, which are people or workers that have eventually kind of replaced all of their parts of their bodies with Vermisian tech at some point. Some are just full-on androids. Others used to be people at some point. And they usually kind of just drone out and work on the railway, maintain things here and there. But they seem to have taken notice of you, and they're all kind of converging. There's just a swarm of dozens,
Hello?
30, 40. You hear them kind of whispering and chattering among themselves.
So where are we actually headed?
Up.
To
at the
Taco
lobby.
Bell, I thought everybody was saying.
I don't see any Taco Bell down here.
No, we have to head up to the Taco Bell.
See some of them start to drop from the ceiling. They've got weapons drawn.
I
They've
don't like
got
this.
knives and spears and swords and things,
I really don't like
crowbars. A lot of it's like tools, but they're definitely wielding them more like a weapon. And start to circle the group of you.
Not coming to start a fight?
And they kind of make this ring, but they don't move any closer. And you see a lot of them like looking between themselves, and they're whispering and chattering. And you see them pointing specifically at John and then at Devorin. And they're constantly pointing at the two of you, whispering and chattering. It's some language that you don't understand. And after a little bit, though, you hear one of them yell, "Boston!" And he runs into the middle, straight towards your robot dog.
Oh. You,
And you hear the same name call out, "Boston! Boston!" And they all start running towards your robot dog there.
Boston? And I'll like point at my robot dog.
And they grab him, they pick it up. The robot dog seems to be happy, and he's more animated than he has been in quite a while. Seems to
brought him
recognize
home.
them. And they pick him up and hear him yell, "Boston!" And the rest of them yell, "Boston!" They're all kind of chattering and cheering.
Listen, Sir Galvin, like,
Did we even have a name for dog?
I called him Waldo.
Waldo is a better name. Listen, I'm just
How
saying,
dare they do Waldo? Dog.
like, if you want me to kill these fuckers and get your dog back, because, like,
We've brought him home, I think.
they shouldn't have lost him in the first place. Just saying.
Perhaps.
Find
But
a keeper.
As they start
Perhaps.
chattering, a few of them try to talk to you, and you hear a few start to speak words in common here and there. The one that's holding the dog turns to the rest of you and say, "Rescued Boston."
yes, we all did.
And then he listens to you for a bit. He's like, where are you trying to go?
Taco Bell.
We're trying to commune with the Dark Queen.
I don't know about that.
To the queen. And they chatter amongst themselves.
That's
And they
after
look at
Taco
you.
Bell.
Oh, I'm
Jake.
sorry. I mean, the Heart is what it's usually known as.
A lot of them point at you, Jake. And they say, "Catalyst. Catalyst." And they point at the obelisk. And then they point at you.
We all have to
Catalyst.
about what we're doing.
Devorin, but I'll accept the name Catalyst. Just thank you very kindly. May I go catalyze over yonder?
Catalyst. Bad. We don't want you to be the catalyst.
Oh, my bad.
She wishes to corrode us all. For the rot to eat everything.
Wait. Okay, I'm listening now. So, he
had him in.
is going to make everything get rotten and dead.
Yes, catalyst. It's said here on the stone.
Have you ever tried killing the stone?
Well, you can't kill the stone. That's a bad idea.
You can't.
The stone doesn't have a beginning or an end. It's pointless for us to chip away at it.
It's called sedimentary rock, fossilization, time, pressure. I mean, like, did you pay attention in fucking like 5th grade science class? Because Mr. Bowling, he explained that shit to us pretty good.
Maybe in another place it has
Jake
to begin
and I
and
were
an
both
end.
in that science class because we've known each other since we were like 5.
Yeah.
The real problem is that like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
What do
There
you
is no
mean it's
beginning or
everywhere?
end of it here. It begins and ends outside of our tunnels.
You know,
We
it
haven't
doesn't
been able
begin
to
or
see
end
it.
your mama.
Well, our friend here
that.
is infected with some sort of diseases.
Catalyst! The catalyst!
Oh wait, is
The
that
crystal
marble
and the
thing?
wood thing.
Start channeling that.
Oh, yeah, because I did take the marble thing. I did take another marble thing to sort of counteract it, but I did take them.
What
they're
if the
both there.
second marble thing, like, have you ever messed with like 5-minute epoxy and like there was the one fluid you put on there and it doesn't do anything? Then there was the other fluid that you put on there and it doesn't do anything. But when you mix the two fluids together, it does the thing.
Is that what Devorin is? He's a.
What if those two
epoxy.
marbles were like tube 1 and tube 2 of like catalyst epoxy?
So we go like squeeze Devorin and.
Well, I'm saying he's already been squeezed. He's already been shaken around and shit in our adventures.
Normally the catalyst
Stop it, April.
consumes
There's
you
nothing
before
over
you're able to make it here. But
Yeah, I kind of took some anti-catalyst thing. Do you know if the rot is the plants or the amber?
both.
Oh. Shit. Yeah, I have both of those.
It consumes all. The plants consume flesh and the amber consumes metals.
Well, mercifully, I'm more honeycomb than flesh at this point, so.
Doesn't that make it like it feeds their argument, right?
Kind of, but it also sort of like the whole point of my wanting to meet with the Dark Queen is that yes, the rot is important. I mean, what is rot? The sun is dying, and because the sun is dying, the world has heat. It has growth. It has life.
I was gonna say that really depends on the Defenders of Cobalt campaign. Hashtag go check out Dead Suns.
Yeah, that's another campaign actually.
It is,
for the sun.
and it's still your fault.
It's your fault.
I that was an accident. It was a hilarious
Honest
accident.
mistake.
And we traveled through time, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Half of me did.
Yeah, half of Joe traveled through time.
But
Normal
yeah,
stuff.
they exclaimed like, "No, catalyst! They've been trying to find someone of your form to meld the rot and perfect it.
Perfect.
Apparently, the rot
So we
can
just
only
kill
eat
him.
away at the living. It can only eat away at their bodies and at flesh, at plant. But the tunnels here, and they point around, and the tunnels have kept the rot at bay. It can't eat through the metals yet. You're the catalyst."
Can we like kill the rat?
And they
Well,
speak
you can't kill rot if you kill. It's like killing death. Well, I mean, what happens when you kill death? It dies. Then it's
And
eternal
there's
death.
the original death gets reincarnated, and then there's a super death to carry on.
And he's no longer voiced
Queen
by
is the
Norm
rot.
Macdonald.
It
What
is
if we
not.
just throw a bunch of salt on him, just like in Supernatural?
I don't think that's how that worked. And trust me, I've watched a lot of
season
Supernatural.
finale.
Not like so much that I'm like Wincest, but like 1 through
Okay.
5 favorite. I mean, great show.
Yeah.
April, you're not supposed
It
to. know
ended
about
at season 5, right? There's nothing after
that. It
season 5.
ended at season 5.
That's what I thought.
I stopped season 8.
Oh, I watched it all.
Why'd you do that to yourself?
Because I am a fucking glutton.
Turned into Supernatural.
I also
after that.
watched all of The Office after Michael Scott left. and I watched fucking MASH after Radar left. I mean, like, what do you expect?
I like to think that Chuck accidentally watched The British Office and thinks that that's Michael Scott leaving.
He wasn't there the whole show for some reason.
What is going on here? Like, there's an elevator scene. I don't get any of this.
But back to the game. Yeah, they speak about Jake and
Sure.
Dan. You ask about killing the rot, and they say the queen is the source of the rot. Jake
How do we
is
get to
supposed
the
to be the
queen?
catalyst for the. And they say, "Follow the obelisk."
How? Does it lead into these tunnels?
It leads to the Embergrove.
Okay.
Grove or Gris?
Grove.
Grove.
Okay.
Like Grover. But
Grover.
not as blue and
Or
furry.
Super Grover. John gets it. He and I have got kids.
I grew
Dan's
up
got
watching
kids,
Grover.
but Dan's kid's young enough that, like, Super Grover was already dead at that point.
They
They
killed
killed Super Grover?
They did. They did.
Was the monster at the end of the book waiting for it?
No, it was a fucking, like, cookie-a-night bullet shot by Cookie Monster. He was all like, Super Grover, how dare you destroy my plot to steal all the cookies? Fuck you, bitch. And, like, shot him in the face with, like, a fucking cookie bullet.
That sounds like Sesame Street.
Totally
That sounds like how
Sesame
they
Street.
write it.
Let's say
You have cookies.
both
Fuck
You
you,
will.
bitch, and all that.
both Genevieve and Theo, as this dialogue with Devorin and the Husks and Galvin is kind of playing out. You guys are seeing this obelisk. It seems to be kind of shifting. And you're seeing a lot of familiar symbols there, Genevieve, on this obelisk. Ones
Oh.
that seem to map to what you saw when you were getting the visions from the squid earlier. This looks to be maybe the rest of the spell that you're trying to get. At least parts of it.
Parts of it.
There's,
It's
you see the parts that you were missing of the spell that the squid told you, and there's many other things inscribed on this obelisk.
but that's it. That's the last of it. That's the last of what I need.
You follow it, see that it talks of a great rift of energy, talks about a gateway that deities can step through, that perhaps the Dark Queen, as Devorin had been referring to her, used to come here herself. Perhaps it's still open.
Be things.
Perhaps it connects to other places.
Perhaps it's a giant hole at the bottom of the ocean that we almost dove right into.
Could have been a good idea. But now we'll never know.
Well, I mean,
And also, similar secrets are filling your head. You see, it's a huge overload as you look at this. Again, your eye is showing you many layers and many
I can see
surfaces
everything.
that aren't physically with you. But you see, like, stacked text, full shapes, full diagrams that are spilling off of this obelisk at you in multiple dimensions. Strangely, this is one of the few places you can tell that you're looking at different dimensions, but the tunnels are very locked in their position across all of these dimensions. But the obelisk is not, the surface of it especially. And you feel that it is also teaching you the secrets that you're needing to know.
Does that zenith me?
That earns the zenith for both April and Dan. Yes.
Should I throw out my crazy idea right now so we're prepared for it later?
Yes.
well, I
I
mean,
still have a.
technically.
Oh, God.
Sorry. Oh, I was gonna say technically I'm supposed to destroy it before I get my zenith beat. So can I just take my hunting
So
knife and just start
technically-
carving?
Yeah, so these are different. There's lots of different information that's inscribed on this, and you guys are looking for two different things. So you could independently take out yours from his.
Okay.
can see lots of versions of this.
If I see Genevieve is ready to act, I would like to assist Genevieve in doing what it is. It's like, Genevieve, you pull out the hunting knife, and I send my butterflies to continually resharpen your hunting knife as you're scoring this shit up.
Give it him
It's
some
Galvin.
lube.
And like it's like a strop, just taking off those burrs.
I guess I'd be asking, like, if they know where we can find the Dark Queen.
I say follow the obelisk. It leads to the grove. You'll see the vines and what we haven't been able to keep back spilling out.
Okay. So I'll start kind of looking for that.
All right. You can't see it from where you guys are standing, but you definitely see like where the obelisk continues.
Okay.
And April, are you doing anything in this moment?
Wait, I'm sorry. I was reading something. What did I miss?
Okay. No, you're fine. Was there anything that you were doing
Good job,
immediately,
kid.
or were you wanting to wait?
I'll wait. I'll let him do.
Okay. All right. So as you're talking with the husks there, Galvin, they again reiterate like Queen's trying to erode all of the tunnels. They're trying to collapse the system. They're trying to erase the Vermissian. They don't have the final piece that they need to start to corrode the metals of the Vermissian. But that's what they're trying to get Jake for. That's what they're trying to complete with his essence, with his catalyst. And you get the sense that perhaps stopping this would be a good way to make peace, make penance, and absolve your sins.
That I got blamed for.
That you experienced.
I don't, what? No.
No, I wouldn't remember that anymore. So
Yeah. Oh, Chuck. I forgot to mention earlier. So you healing, or you pulling the debris out of the whale, made it no longer antagonistic against the village. So technically, that saves that haven.
Fuck. Yeah.
nice.
That completes a beat. Like Michael Jackson said in his 1983 hit song, just fucking beat it, Searle. And I did.
I was gonna say it too.
Yeah, but I beat you to it, and I said it wrong. You probably would have said it right.
No.
Good job. I'm glad that you wouldn't have. Da 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 da. Just beat it. Zero beat it.
They, the husks also are very friendly to a lot of you. They seem, April has seen that they're very, very like excited that you've brought Boston back to them, and they're very happy with the dog. And they ask if there's anything else that they can do to help.
I don't think so, unless we need supplies of some kind.
I'd say technically for yours, Genevieve, the husks are a part of the Vermissian, and so they would be a faction that you could use.
Ooh.
You see that as you're looking at these husks too, a lot of the symbols that are on this obelisk, a lot of the you know from your time with Sir Galvin that a lot of the information that he's picked up in the heart has been inscribed on his armor, like different pathways, different places that they've been. They kind of use their armor and their bodies as a tome of information, and you see similar similar etchings and things of that all over these husks. You see all sorts of the symbols that have been on the obelisk. They've scratched into the metal of their arms and their chests and things. So looks like they've been studying the obelisk a lot.
What do you do with board surrounded by obelisk? Just scratching on yourself. It's normal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Totally normal.
Do I
Hey.
want to do this now?
I want to put out there, I'm interrupting everyone, because that's how I roll. It's your fault, Joe. You told me my beat is completed. I have now taken the major ability, Bloodbound Beast, the fucking vulture mole, is now my ragged cryptid that follows my commands. I feed it my blood and it fights for me.
All right.
And all of my weapons gain the Bloodbound tag.
Absolutely.
That
That is definitely what you are doing.
It's all like, I got
as all
you,
this.
bitch.
Yep.
Exactly like that.
You're off there. Everyone else is
Exactly like
studying this obelisk, communicating with the husks, and then you're forming a blood pact with your little vulture mole.
You can take a D4 of blood stress and get mastery when you use that equipment for the rest of the situation.
Fuck yes.
That's actually pretty good.
That's amazing. We're like Batman and Vulture Man. It's super. Or like Dog Man and like Mole Man.
Man and woman man.
Vulture Man and Dog.
Yep.
Vulture Man and Dog.
There we go.
What's that, Genevieve?
Would it be too soon to use my Zenith ability?
Technically, you could use it whenever now.
Whenever you die.
Galvin, Genevieve, and Theo have met the conditions for their Zenith. And it's basically you have your ultimate. You can spend it whenever you want. You can activate it whenever you want. For
Actually, haven't picked my Zenith
Whatever.
yet. Apart from my
Will
crazy
you
idea.
die? Do you want to see Zero cry?
And you don't have to, like, your Zenith, you've earned the point to get a Zenith. So all of the Zeniths that are on your character, you can pick whatever one best fits what you want to do.
That's where it comes into question.
Okay.
My crazy idea is that.
Oh, wait then.
Okay. You've got a button to push that you activate your Zenith whenever at this point. You've met the conditions to do that.
I still have a D10 of cursed squid memories, and I would be willing to take a D10 of stress and pick a Zenith from the Heretic class.
I don't think you can't buy Zeniths with the thing, unfortunately. You can only buy major. You can buy minor and major abilities, but not Zenith.
I would take just straight 10 stress for it.
That would be... What does the Heretic do?
I don't mean to derail the campaign, but that was my crazy idea.
Is there anyone else doing anything while I'm like going to look at that? Is there anyone else that wanted to do anything immediately with these husks or had any questions, anything they wanted to interact with the obelisk, or just
I have
continue
no
on?
idea what's going on, so no.
Okay.
I was thinking about doing Ascension because I already have multiple arms and funny eyes. I was like, this would be perfect for my character.
Ascend to God form.
Yeah, if you take the full 10, I'll say you do it. You just cram that memory in there. That's what you've got. That's like some cursed memory of some heretic that right before they zenithed. It got stolen. I'll let you do that.
Right. I was just like, it feels perfectly right for my mess of a character.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
All right.
Dan started as one thing, ended as another. That's fitting.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
I'll do it right now.
All right. So with that, and then Jake, this also earns your beat of
Gaining info about why I'm here.
Yeah. Yep. Find out why the heart chose you. Yeah. To complete the two sides of the corrosion. It can already eat flesh, it can already eat people, it can already consume sentience and life. It can't consume metals, though. It can't eat through the vermician. It's kind of stuck where it's at because of that. It's spread in little pieces due to this cult that's popped up here and there. Seeds that you've planted in the grove and such and other places. Certain creatures have escaped, but the main rot itself, the main source, has not been able to break out because it's trapped behind the tunnels of the terminus. You are supposed to be the catalyst to break it.
What level of the heart are we on?
We are on 3.5.
How dare you?
I don't know if you can do 0.5, but because of where it's leading to, it's
Listen,
3.5.
no one's got time for your math.
Yeah.
Or meth.
But
That's so
you guys, is there anything we're wanting to do before we move on? Or just trudging through a lot of
No,
novels?
I'll hold off on activating my Zenith for just a bit yet.
I want my Zenith still. I still don't have it.
I'm not sure what I can do
Have you looked
to
at your
gain
Zenith?
authority with them. Well,
So
Yeah,
you
but
have
that's
it already,
not-
technically. Like you're returning Boston to them. They're on good terms. And
so that would be my other beat then.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When I played a junk mage, I played a thing where I had to fight the Red King. And if
So-
I won, I became the Red King. And if not, I became a thrall of the Red King. And I fucking lost and became a thrall of the Red King.
That's the one I
I remember that.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't lose. Become the new Red
both-
Queen.
Both you returning Boston to them, and they see that you're like
Like Boston.
allied
Boston?
against. Boston
band.
is the name of the dog.
Oh.
It's a robot dog. Boston Dynamics is the joke. But
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, I like Waldo better.
yeah,
Because, like, we found it. But I get your
Darn.
joke, too. It needed more hockey sticks.
a little bit.
I would have gotten it if there were more hockey sticks.
Or falling over more.
Still,
Yeah.
hockey sticks.
Boxes with QR codes on them. Yeah, so you returning Boston to them, put you on good terms, and then the good terms with that, and then you clearly being aligned against Nyla and the Dark Queen thing, that gives you authority over them. So they're on very good terms with you, April, and the rest of you. So definitely meet that beat. All right, so you guys continue on through. Normally, Terminus is pretty hard to navigate, but both with Dan's eye, who's able to see where you're kind of going and weaving about, and then this obelisk too, like carving a path. Also, there's all sorts of places where the ground's shifting here and there. And after you leave this hallway, you see one of the main chambers and switching stations of Terminus, which is. It opens up to this massive domed, almost cylindrical room. There's multiple tiers of train rails that meet in the center, and they have these spinning platforms that are supposed to switch trains here and there. Got all sorts of crazy inscribed occult symbols all over it. Many of them match this obelisk. And you see the obelisk kind of just punches straight through this chamber, so you know where to go. But there is this kind of turntable thing that you'll need to pass in the middle of the room, you see. They're moving around. They're all acting frequently as if they're trying to move trains, but there's nothing here. There haven't been any trains that have connected to this
like a
area in a long
train
time.
turny turntable. I'm like,
Yeah,
Mixmaster Mike, I got this shit.
yeah. But that is where you guys next approach on this delve. So you make it into the middle of this chamber. There's the path going here, and then all these series of tables and things that are moving up and down. It's all these spinning platforms that you'll need to get across. And then you see it straightens out and goes into another tunnel on the other side that this obelisk continues through.
So looks like we keep heading that way.
I'm good with that.
Yes.
To cross these, unless someone has like an ability or something, you basically will have to make some delve or evade checks to make your way across these tables in time. How it is.
Would a generous application of followers assist in this?
Okay, for
Sure.
a bunch of humans.
How do you want to use the followers to
Like, I'm
assist?
imagining all these, like, spinning platforms where the trains would turn around. Like, if I jam enough people into those, it would clog them up and, like, slow them down, right?
Oh, that also.
Almost certainly.
That's what I'll do.
Ye old
Yeah.
trolley problem.
It's the trolley problem, just better.
Chuck, I'm gonna ask you to make a compel How are we going to do this? Compel, technology, or occult?
I don't like this. Oh, you got technology because I ate a ticket.
Yep.
Compel technology. Technology. Thank you, technology.
What's going to be the difficulty on this?
Yes, my lord, as they just dive right into it.
Get in there.
For you, Zerl!
They don't even understand really what you're telling them to do. And you time it perfectly where one of these platforms comes up and it's just kind of spinning left and right. It hasn't moved up and down. And they make their way to the center of it. And as you're about to direct them where to go, it just spins rapidly. And kind of like one of those... If you ever seen those like videos of people setting tables and they like spin the thing and all the plates come off and they're like in the right spot. It's that, but with people going into like gears and all of the little parts that this is supposed to light up. As there's a quick scream and snap and squelch, and you've locked the platform in place.
Ever getting rid of this. Best Fallout ever.
And with that, you guys are able to... It looks like eventually it's going to work its way through. You hear it's trying real hard to press through all that biomatter.
Got a lot of
it's enough time.
Got a lot of meat and bone to process.
Sounds a little juicy, a little crunchy.
It really does. It really does.
Well, some.
And they're pretty high thread count cultist robes too, so that's doing some work for you.
I mean, like the juicy and like shit. Like I put them on an all Powerade diet, so
yeah,
I'm not surprised.
We just have the shits all the time.
Yeah, that's it.
Super juicy. Super juicy.
Powerade and Ash late.
At least they're hydrated.
Ash and Slim Jims. That's all I let them eat. Like, get that scurvy.
Is that the Slim Jims that come with the processed cheese
God,
also?
No,
that's the real
want them
reason
to
that they're
have
not allowed into
calcium 'cause
towns.
That fucks up my digestive tract. I'm lactose
There's no
intolerant.
calcium in that. It's not real cheese,
Fuck, I wish I would have known that sooner because I could have gotten those at a bulk discount from Sam's Club. Like, goddamn.
I mean, I could actually be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not real cheese. It doesn't have to be
This
refrigerated.
episode of Defenders of Cobalt is sponsored by Slim Jims. Not real cheese. Snap into the beef.
Not real sponsorship.
Might not even be real.
Don't listen to them.
Don't listen to me. I'll get sued.
So we should
guys are
continue on,
across.
right?
Yeah, you continue on across the plate. You make it to the other side of this tunnel. You're following the obelisk. You make your way. And for the sake of time, we'll say that's the end of this delve. As you make it to the other side of the tunnel. And again, tunnel kind of twists and turns, and impossibly the obelisk stays perfectly straight through it. And you make it to a part where the air kind of changes a little bit, and it's less stale, and it's more mildewy, it's kind of a familiar smell to when you were in the Red Cap Grove
No, you had to write the first
earlier. No. But similar to there, like kind of the fungal and vegetative smell here and there.
I do.
And you see some of the panels of the walls have been pushed out, and you see vines, roots, plants growing into the tunnel.
Want to point, like, everyone, please. I've learned my lesson. Please do not eat anything's brain in this area.
Yes.
Have you though?
You see, it's doing its best to try and like tear this tunnel apart, but it's just physically like pushing panels and stuff out of the way. It hasn't been able to erode any of the metal here, and it's more and more dense though with this vegetation, these plants, this fungus, these vines. There's a good deal of flowers here and there too, Jake. Your bees are.
Yeah, I'm
Love it.
puffing that stuff so hard. Nice.
This is the first high quality plants they've seen in a while. And as it thickens up, after a while, a few minutes of walking through this, you don't even see the walls of this station anymore. And it continues like that for another 10, 15 minutes. It's just like a tunnel of vines and roots. But the obelisk continues through. And you get to a point where it kind of opens up, and it looks like it was supposed to go into like another switching station, but the entirety of it's been filled with these plants. There's all sorts of like hanging down vines and things in the whole area. And you see the obelisk go into the wall, and from it there's all these sprawling vines and things. And you can see there's like this kind of amberish red glow coming from where it goes into the wall.
Vines and shit so thick that would impede us to move through here, or are they just like dangling down?
They're dangling down and things. It'd be a little bit hard to walk through, but not too bad. But it looks like you'll have to like climb them to go into where this obelisk is punching through the wall.
Okay.
Let's climb.
I'm good at
Air
climbing.
feels heavy here. You feel like there's something powerful and important on the other side of this wall.
Ooh.
Tacos.
Taco Bell, yes.
Fucking goddamn Dorito Crunch taco things.
That's right. The most fragile of taco shells, I've learned.
That's why they put them in cardboard.
I'd say these vines are thick enough and plentiful enough. It's not like, if they were a little bit more sparse, you might have to make a delve test to climb them, but it's just, they're all over the place. You can crawl along these. Occasionally here and there, you kind of have to dodge a thorn patch or some other plant. And you're seeing more and more of these flowers and plants are kind of animated. You're seeing like Venus flytraps and carnivorous type plants here and there too that seem to almost be aware of you moving. They seem to be tracking you, but they're sparse enough that they're not impeding you. Do you try talking to them?
No, I'm just waiting, listening. Like, if any of them say, feed me, Seymour, I'm out.
Waiting
None
for
of
it.
them say that.
Good.
I don't know what that's from either.
That's
Can
fine.
I walk up to him like Mark Wahlberg? Hey there, buddy.
Hey,
How's it going?
what? No.
I'm talking to a plastic plant.
Feed me.
April and Joe, do you
Still
two
don't
ever
know.
get tired of the really fucking old people references we make?
I
I plead the
mean, I
fifth.
did years ago, but
That's fair.
Beyond tired at this point.
you have other redeeming qualities, I'll say that.
This might be.
I can look past all your flaws, old man.
Listen, I'll have it known that I'm not the oldest person on this screen because John told me so.
Mm-hmm. I'm old.
Yes.
That's okay. You guys make it. It kind
I'll
of,
forgive you this time.
it's more and more narrow as you guys are approaching. But you see the lights getting brighter. And it kind of looks like a deep red or amber at first, but then it starts to get a little bit more yellow, a little bit more white. And you all crawl out around this obelisk. And similar thing to how the obelisk led into these tunnels where it was sticking out and then it had kind of this ring of an opening. You all crawl out, clutching vines, pulling yourself up. Jake, this area looks familiar to you. May have seen it in a vision before. The rest of you have not, however. It's in much higher detail than you remember, though, Jake. And there's more on the peripherals and further out. But you guys
It's an
find
HD.
yourself in this giant greenhouse, it looks like at first. But then it's more like a chapel, maybe. There's a domed ceiling. It's kind of like stained glass. They've got all sorts of these pretty intricate patterns and things woven into the glass. You see all sorts of like different plants and things. You see there's several depictions of these giant gray cherry blossom trees with petals that are kind of made of the stained glass that weave their way around. You pull yourselves up, and immediately you notice that there's more of like a floral scent here. You smell these flowers. It's very overpowering, and there's just a tiniest hint of decomposition and rot of dead bodies as you see a sea of dead bodies that kind of resemble Jake, other apiarists that have made it here. Some have been dead for a very long time. They're just bones inside of their beekeeping suits, robes. And they may have died more natural deaths because you see some of them have been totally eaten away by these plants and the rot, as you saw previous people that were kind of erupting into plants.
Just to be clear, I have activated my arcane rebreather. So.
All right, yeah. So you might not smell all this.
Yeah, like
yeah. So it's pretty pleasant, maybe stale smell, but definitely more pleasant than this. And Jake, same thing. You're stepping on this horrible crunch that you know too well of bees and bodies.
Yeah, are there any bees flying around?
Other than yours? No.
Yeah. Suspicious.
Unbelievable.
You see several dead bees. They're like tons and tons and tons. Like the soil is just nothing but carcasses of other apiarists and some flower petals and dead plants here and there, and then tons of bees.
Bees!
Failed catalysts before yourself.
They made it sound like Devorin was uncommon, but they lied to us.
No.
He's uncommon in the sense that he made it all the way here as unscathed as he is.
Devorin is totally unique. Devorin, I believe in you. I don't know what's going on, but whatever it is, you can do it, buddy.
I know I can, and I'm gonna make a beeline for the temple in the distance.
I also believe.
So you're basically inside this temple. It's like you're in the center of it where this obelisk is. It's a big circular room. And you don't see much at first, but you do see there's kind of like these giant pod-like plants that are closed, and they kind of have this little bit of a spiral shape to them. Pretty tall. They look to be about 8 to 10 feet tall each. You see about maybe 12, 16 of them kind of sparingly spread along the inside of this chamber. And after a moment, you feel the ground underneath you like clutch up here and there as you see the vines and the leaves start to move. You hear a voice call out. It's like, my catalyst has finally arrived. And a lot of you turn and you see this woman. She looks like a very typical depiction of like a forest spirit, at least on the top half. She looks like she's got her hair is kind of made out of leaves and bark and plant matter and such. Looks to have been maybe more attractive in her prime, but a little bit, there's like kind of some rough edges of spores and fungus kind of growing out of her skin here and there. And her bottom half seems to be this like spidery mass of vines that are rooting up from the ground, and she's just kind of drifting along it and on the ground here. And she's comes out from back around the side of one of these pods and starts making her way towards Devorin, but sees the rest of you near him. Says, you've brought friends with you. I wasn't expecting this, but
friends might be a little generous, but
well, you must be
my best friend
all this way.
We've come to put an end to your business here, lady.
What business is that?
Bringing chaos to the entirety of everything.
Is this when we fight?
I think it might be when we fight.
Are we fighting you or her, though? I mean, like...
Oh, you meant fighting her. Yes, possibly. I'm still not sure.
There's much work for you to do. If your friends are here to watch, that's even more beautiful.
Am I gonna die?
They'll be the first bits of matter consumed by the rot as you complete
I don't like that.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the end game of this rot here?
Well, it's very hungry I've been trapped here in this room for longer than I can remember.
Like, imagine an apple. Like, follow me here. And like, this is an apple grown out.
She
in the
materializes an apple in her hand as
That's
saying
cool, but you're not going to win me over with that. Now imagine an apple with like this thriving ecosystem existing on it. Like, there's worms eating the meat of the apple inside. There's all these like aphids like doing the ant, like all of this like life existing on this apple. And there's a little spot of rot in the center of it that starts growing. If the rot continues to grow, it will destroy the entire apple and kill all of the creatures living off of it.
It's gross.
Is that you?
Beautiful.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been a little bit, I've been impeded by these nasty halls that your people have built, as she kind of scowls at you, Galvin. She says, like, that's why I've needed your friend here, Devoran. See, there's quite a lot to eat, quite a lot to consume. There's all sorts of critters and people.
This is the best.
And there's an entire town and the spire above.
Are we in
So
level
much.
4?
You are in tier 4 of the hearts.
All right. Galvin is ready to, I think, activate his zenith.
Okay.
We all are pretty much.
Yeah.
I rolled my Fallout.
I didn't know who was going to take it 0 to 100 first.
All right.
I was.
I have a poll that I want to put to all of my dear friends here.
Minor mind fallout, right?
As my Zenith, I've got 3 choices. Do I turn into a meat angel and fight alongside of you? Do I turn into the beast, that's capital B-E-A-S-T, and fight alongside of you? Or do I turn into a forest?
Don't you mean the beast fights against us?
I don't know if any of you need to use Drew Zenith.
I killed the biggest fucking baddest thing in the area. Same thing if I'm a meat angel.
Speaking of angels, around her are these pods. And as she sees that you guys are growing a little bit hostile and aren't going to be good food for her, she kind of slinks back behind one of the pods and drifts along these vines as they kind of just amass legs underneath her. And you see one of the pods pop open. There's this kind of puff of spores and things. And you see what looks to be an angel of the heart variety, but a little bit different. Perhaps adventurers have heard of these things or seen depictions of them. They're normally these very tall, hulking monstrosities with long, limber, like 4 arms and feet. And they've got like this pale, white, bony face that protrudes from their skin. Nightmarish creatures, but they're a little bit different. You see that their hands are more like claws, and their arms have these like kind of slight winged features to them. They resemble more like fairies.
Sounds like a job for me.
Massive and twisted. They've got kind of talon-like feet. And you see one of the pods open up, and it slowly kind of slinks out. And it looks at a lot of you. And you don't see a mouth at first, but a crease forms in this bone plate on its face. And it peels back, and you see just a sea of needle, long teeth, kind of in a comb-like fashion, as it looks at a lot of you and smiles. And then another pod opens. Seems to be each of these 16 pods has one of these in it.
Yeah. So as she goes slinking off, Sir Galvin's like, you can run. I will find you. And
Okay.
I'll activate my zenith. He pulls
All
out
right.
like a,
What do you do?
thing, and his like chest plate like opens, and he inserts like a seed into the armor, and it closes back up, and he kind of starts vibrating, and he's moving, stamping his feet, and he is getting ready to go.
Okay. What do you do? How does it play out? What's the mechanical effect here?
What I don't know. Basically, from my understanding of it, is an engine powered by a throbbing heart seed, a source of wild and limitless power. Upon implantation of the heart seed into your suit's furnace, I become an unstoppable force within the city beneath. Indeed, I can never stop moving. I stamp off into the darkness, and my character is removed from the story except for the Deus Ex Machina ability that is granted to all surviving members of your party.
Are you Snowpiercer?
More or less.
Yeah. What does the Deus Ex Machina do?
I don't know.
If I recall, basically, like, survivors have the chance of basically, like, having him storm into a situation.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
up.
He's a get out
okay.
of jail, super fucked.
Just call him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the character's continued into, like, another setting or something after this, he has a chance of just stomping into it and blowing things up.
Exactly.
Okay. So you
I
activate
figure
this.
I'm going
start
after
charging.
the lady.
Yeah, and you start charging straight after her. And you see that she's commanding all of the entire ground here is just littered with these vines and things. And they're constantly snapping up, trying to grab you, and they're just being pulled and ripped and torn and snapped as they're not stopping you. As you just keep going. And she's just kind of barely skirting away from you as you're marching on.
All right. I am going to activate my chimeric strain, my horned version. So I just go like Abomination, not Incredible Hulk. Abomination comes to my skin splits, muscles twist, bones crack. I'm going to take a D4 of Echo Stress.
Okay.
No, it's going to be a D6 of Echo Stress. That does not clear my Echo Protection. And we're on level 4, right?
Yep.
Since we're on level 4, I have a 4 protection and everything. Doesn't clear Echo.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and in my horns, yeah, I can fuck shit up real good now. So while
All right.
I'm going super meat Saiyan, is anyone, please, someone else.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I don't know if we all got to go ham at the same time now.
This is just one of my major abilities. I haven't gone Zenith yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you all have your zeniths pretty much. John's thrown his out there. Chuck at any time can use his. The rest of you can as well. Well, actually, all of you but Jake.
Which might
Is there
be
anything that you're wanting to go after?
I will look out to the entity that I call the Dark Queen, and I will extend an inviting hand towards her.
Okay.
Curious.
See that she's kind of like skirting away from John, and you hear these awful snaps of the vines that are just constantly trying to grab him. You can barely see John, but it's almost like I picture like on his headlamp, he's got like the train light. You just see that kind of barely as this mass of all of these vines are trying to stop him. And see she kind of skirts around, and you're holding your hand out. And she smirks at that. She's like, excellent. We can begin then.
I knew I never liked you.
You know, Genevieve, I used to think that I was just jealous of your friendship with Zerl.
As you should be.
True.
True, but now I think growing beyond that, I realize I just hate you. So, I mean...
You say that as if I feel anything towards you at all.
Oh.
Ouch.
That's brutal and hurtful. And I'm going to take that.
D8 of mind stress.
Yeah, I'm taking that as echo stress, so I don't have to feel that.
Emotional
Alright.
damage.
Jake, if you're trying, she's trying to like initiate that binding acid spit. She's trying to initiate like her ritual thing with you to start you as the catalyst. So if there's something you're trying to interject here, as soon as you make contact with her, that fulfills your beat.
All right.
So you're able to do that. Dan, April, anything you guys are wanting to fire off?
Yeah. As soon as the two make contact, I would actually like to use my Zenith Beat to attack Devorin.
Devorin.
That too.
Oh my gosh.
He just switched sides, and he said he hated me. Not that I care, but
I care.
Okay.
This got complicated.
It's gonna turn into PvP.
It is.
Again?
Again.
So
Jake.
I guess because technically, so once Jake makes contact, that's your Zenith that you can activate, Jake. So are you doing yours immediately? Do you have a plan on that? Because I would say, like, because you're making contact and she's reacting to that, you would get to do whatever you're trying to do, and then she could respond. So
I'll allow Genevieve to have her shot. Why not?
okay.
Okay, so this is the Herald of the Red King. You conjure forth a door to the King of Want, and his approach is terrible. You can only cast the spell once, but you do so automatically without needing to roll. The Red King appears, a writhing town-sized knot of jealousy and fire and iron-hard scales, and breathes flames so hot that it can destroy anyone and anything it touches. You can direct his attack. When you cast the spell, roll, endure, and occult. On a success, you become the new Red King. Blah, blah, blah. We'll get to that when we...
Oh, this is the one I did, and I fucked it up so bad.
Do we have any of those masteries left? Or?
No, we are out. We have some rerolls.
Okay.
I feel like it probably wouldn't be fair to use that on a Zenith targeting.
True.
Play.
Yeah.
It's up to Joe. We
It
have
could be
5
hilarious,
banked
though.
rerolls.
I would say 5 banked rerolls. I'd say everyone gets 1.
Oh, everybody gets
Okay.
one. We're going the Spider-Man route.
Listen, Joe, that is a good call. That way we make sure that people who donated to the stream get their dollars worth.
That's fair.
I'm gonna reroll that.
All right, I'm not.
You only have 1 die with that?
It's what was it?
Endure.
Endure occult.
Oh man. Yeah.
Better use that reroll.
Oh.
Oh,
There it is.
You do it.
You have become the new Red King.
A furious
All right.
desire.
That was some good spending of bits. All right. The new Red Queen.
Yeah.
What damage should we roll for the attack? I'm not sure how you want to do that.
So,
Fucking
let me
God.
pull up. Yeah.
That was the end
What
goal.
is the
I am sad and proud.
I have a dumb question. Is the goddess the same as the queen?
Who's the goddess?
goddess?
I don't know. It's just what's described on one of my abilities. The goddess.
The goddess. Oh, that's probably talking about like the moon one. Maybe.
That would have been funny.
So
'cause it's-
that would have been funny.
that would
It's
just be
probably a
better.
different one.
Okay.
The Red King. So hot that it destroys anyone and anything. It's not a damage roll. That's the thing with Zeniths. It's just like
It's just
it do
It just
what it
does.
say. It do what it do. So wherever you're directing this breath weapon, that's what it does.
It was
So-
straight at Devorin and the Queen.
I'll say, Devorin, you see this like breath weapon of fire just carving away. It's burning the like plants and bodies of your apiarists and bees away. You see like the metal of the station underneath it as this breath weapon's coming straight towards you. You're able to do your zenith though in this time if you.
I can see it coming, and this is my last act before I and the thing I'm attached to is destroyed.
Yes,
In that
unless
case,
there's
I will
something crazy
activate.
your zenith does.
I will activate my zenith. Surrender to chaos. A lifetime of carving order from disorder, and still the heart remains chaotic. You lost before you ever started. You give in tragically and catastrophically. When you cast this spell, everything that is ordered around you flips to disorder. Buildings collapse, machinery overloads and malfunctions, disease runs rampant, language breaks down, and fire crackles at the edges of your vision. You are unmade, inverted. Your bees are destroyed, and the heart arrives to greedily consume your essence. The heart itself spontaneously manifests in your current position. You are killed when this ability is used, crushed under the weight of impossible mathematics and ruinous vectors. Lines and angles no longer fully meet at the seams as raw nuclear chaos unfolds within you. After a few seconds of utter nightmare, the manifestation collapses, lapsing back into its natural state. Only to be met with the indestructible fire of the Red Queen.
Yeah.
What a fucking mess.
I'd say you flip that. The second you, pretty much the main structure, so all of the stained glass just cracks and starts raining from the ceiling here. The metals and things of the terminus station underneath you start splintering and cracking away too. The obelisk in the center of the room explodes, and the kind of rift portal essence that you guys had heard of, especially Genevieve, of perhaps a portal to another world, is seen like in the core of this obelisk as it opens up. And that portal merges with Jake's form and then is burnt away by your fire. But everything else is still getting pretty fucked up. Dan and Zerl.
That now I'm not so sure what to do. It's like a hot mess in here.
There are still, so the things that are left, John, like, you're not impeded by this. You're still like,
Yeah.
pulling your way out. Like, you could go through walls and stuff. Like,
yeah.
You're not being stopped. And there are still the pods, though, of all of these like angel things that are trying to attack you.
Is the queen thing dead?
Jake, absorbed her and then annihilated her.
That's badass.
And then
Nice.
became like a portal and then got burnt closed.
A question popped in my head since he summoned the heart and Genevieve hit the heart where he was with the fire. Did she just like hit the heart with her fire capable of destroying all things? Okay.
Yeah.
That can have negative repercussions.
Don't worry,
I already killed the sun in one campaign. What?
You did.
If I close one of my eyes, there's more than one heart.
I
Fucking
would
oops.
like
Dimension.
to put out here that Genevieve is now the red fucking queen, god of fire. It makes my zenith a lot easier now. I go ahead and pop it off. And I am going to turn into a meat angel in service of the Red Queen.
Oh,
All right.
But in the process, I am going to try and meat angel murder all of these fucking things that are coming after Sir Galvin.
Okay.
I need to do anything now.
What is the one that you're activating, Dan, with the heretic thing?
I was planning to do Ascension, but like there's nothing for me to do now.
What is...
I mean, I can always just be a miserable survivor.
You could.
I would say, like, pretty much now what has to happen is, like, Red Queen, Meat Angel, and Galvin, like, reality. Like, even though Galvin doesn't stop, reality's going away. Like, if you have any abilities that you can pull from your hound or from the heretic that, like, helps people get out of this reality collapsing, like moving people, opening up room for them, any sort of like anything like that.
Not really. I mean,
Let's see what you got.
let me look at both of them.
I mean,
All of my stuff is nasty stuff for the most part.
you survived the orphanage. You could survive this and be the one to tell our tale.
That's true.
You could bring the new order of the universe.
I'm gonna let Dan come up with his answer, but I have an idea where I could, as a meat angel, as I'm destroying all these things coming after Sir Galvin, I just throw fucking Theo on the back of Sir Galvin so he can escape.
Or Theo could just call the Deus Ex Machina of Sir Galvin to get him out of there.
Ironically, not that it's a great idea, but if we wanted to like cancel out everybody,
Do it.
That would be beautiful.
My class ability is Everlasting Stand, and it's you become a hound completely, and the 33rd watch will watch landmark you designated as safe indefinitely. Nothing short of another zenith will put you in danger, or it in danger.
And you're the
You've
last
already used all
fucking
your
here.
zenith.
You're the last on the stack.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I'd say what that would do, because whatever. So basically, April's fire, Jake absorbing the portal, and the queen meant that like the reality that Nyla came from got annihilated, but that dimension door Genevieve learned is still open. So you could turn this into a landmark that watches anything else that ever comes through there, and just annihilates it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
You're the new Night's Watch, man.
I guess so.
Do that. At the end of the terminus, there's this landmark that's perpetually shooting. You're Pacific ribbing heart.
Yes.
Nice.
It's not what I expected to do because I was really hoping to use Ascension, but
Yeah. It's fun.
I feel like this is perfect to throw on right at the end.
I think so.
It's good.
I mean,
It,
like,
it secures the area because, like, otherwise, pretty much the whole like this is stopping the bad from happening to the rest of the heart.
Yeah.
Or realistically, even incursion might be more fitting, but
What would incursion be?
you learn the terrible truth about what happened to the 33rd and you destroy your badge. And at the end of it, you summon the last moments of the 33rd to your location and reality comes undone.
I like that too.
We're undoing the undoing. And the world is transformed into a twisted burning maze of trench and razor wire. And the 33rd act out to terrify
Which is somehow better.
on whoever they can find.
There is a Sir Galvin train cutting through reality. There's a new Red Queen with the Meat Angel serving. And this new fucking hellscape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so either you can turn the portal from other dimensions at the center of the heart to a hellscape for anyone that comes in, or just like a kill zone for anyone that comes in.
I mean, they both technically happen. The landmark you're in is destroyed and pretty much everything inside it dies.
Yeah. Either one you want to go with. I'm totally fine with either.
Both
of those.
sound great, man.
It's your decision.
You're fucking wrapping this campaign, Dan. Your choice. But Dan is rolling.
How are we pinning it?
I'm gonna roll a d6.
Do you,
What's 1, 2,
do
3?
you want to torture them before they die? Is the big question.
I figure we'll just do it in order. You know, 1, 2, 3 is everlasting stand, and 4, 5, 6 is incursion. Everlasting stand.
Okay.
Dan ends the campaign with a nat 1. How about that?
Oh shit! Oh shit! That is the most
It's good.
choice.
Perfect.
Perfection.
All
Last
right.
one.
So, John distracts all the queens, everything that she was going to be throwing at you guys.
Come get me, fuckers.
Genevieve pops her annihilating fire. Jake, like, dimensional suplexes the queen through the portal in the obelisk, then gets annihilated by the fire, starts breaking reality all around it. Zerl cleans up all of the angels that could have taken you guys out during all of that, and then Dan locks down this area so that nothing else comes through the portal, and this chaos doesn't spread anywhere else to kill anything else in the heart.
Holy shit.
And we still got John to Deus Ex Machina, you know.
Whenever.
Yeah. I really
Never know
like
what
that.
will show
Sir
up.
Galvin is the legacy.
Sir Galvin,
He's the
no
juggernaut,
flipping
bitch.
through the heart.
He is the thing, man.
T-posing through all the barriers.
I am
Yeah.
just happy that Genevieve and Zerl get to be besties for eternity.
That's pretty cool.
It was fun.
That was good.
And we ended with another player on player.
Kind of.
Sort of.
I
Yeah.
mentioned it in chat. Like, no one puts us in a position to go PvP like Jake does. And it's amazing because Jake does not get, like, some people, like, you go PvP and, like, there's hurt feelings. Jake's like, nah, this is going to be epic.
This
I
was
can't wait
my
to die by
plan
fire.
all
Do
along.
I'd rather die by my friends.
I've killed Jake
All right.
before.
That wraps it
Oh, yeah.
at 11:59.
Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect.
It's amazing.
Perfect timing. Yeah. That does it. Yeah. You guys made it through the heart. You pretty, like, let's do a quick recap, I guess.
Ruined everything.
Starting Derelictus, you went through, you killed a repo man, made it to Ranvest, dealt with some spies. Jake learned about the seeds and the rot there, made it to the Red Cap Grove, helped set up a new connection for a drug ring up to the Spire, went to Grip Station, harvested some crystals and things, ran a fighting ring for a little bit with our first PvP between Zerl and Devoran. Made it to Hun Station. You stopped the harvesting of an Elder God's memories and turned their body into a new plane of existence, which you used to get to the obelisk, to the heart, and then
Annihilated the heart.
yeah, annihilated the heart, annihilated the portal, and then locked the portal down. That's still technically, like, it's a different. The heart that was is dead, but the portal that made it is still there. But now it's locked down from Dan's team there. So anything else that steps in and tries to unstabilize anything gets taken out. And
Dan brought
you
up
just
good
hear
point
the
in chat.
sounds of Sir Galvin stomping through the walls fade out to black. That's the wrap of our campaign.
John, you were saying?
Oh, I was saying Dan made a good point in the chat about W.C. Clayton.
Nice.
Didn't sacrifice at the start of the very first session.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
You
was
got
for science.
It was, yes. Unfortunately, W.C. Clayton getting bamboozled into becoming the first catalyst, and then getting turned into amber. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
That's amazing.
It's awesome.
We have a new red queen, a new
do.
meat angel to serve it.
Yes.
And a new 33rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
And Boston
Thank you.
came home.
That was super fun.
Boston didn't
went-
make it
yeah.
home.
Yeah, and yeah, you guys brought Boston home to
That
all
was
of
actually
the Vermisian
real-
husks.
Story was about. Like, you
Yes.
could've- but after that.
Yeah,
A
the story
dog's
was
journey.
really about that robot dog.
It was Homeward
right.
Bound with a robot dog.
Oh, shit.
There's another old
Yep.
man reference for
Who is the
you.
porcupine?
Oh, I don't know.
Once again, April and June don't get it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You guys
We're so old.
eventually that you left the squid on the cinder whale, so eventually that's gonna take
Yeah.
it over.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so I guess the Red Queen has
How
another
cool is that?
segment then, because the squid serves Zerl and Zerl serves
That's
the
true.
Red Queen.
Oh,
So
Sure, and there is a
Yeah.
cult devoted
There
to
is a
Zerl,
cult?
and there's still
Oh my god.
people.
Yeah.
Listen,
So, like,
I'm
yeah,
just
even-
saying,
even if they make it past the 33rd, they have to fight a giant brain-controlled cinder whale and a red queen. So it's
Zoro was
does-
about a lot of shit and a lot of bravado, but really what he was about was fucking Genevieve being as awesome as possible.
He was a good friend.
He's a great
Zoro
friend.
was nothing if not a great friend.
That's why we have a new red queen.
yeah.
Oh, we need to go find the painter lady to go take our likeness once more.
Oh shit, Meat
Oh, yeah.
Angel and Red Queen.
Yeah, she's just
Bastards.
painting stuff in the gasoline plant.
Why am I suddenly picturing a new image from Midjourney popping up in the DOK Discord of the Meat Angel and New Red Queen?
Stained glass
Yeah.
to replace the glass from the old
Let's see if
temple.
Midjourney will even let me type that in.
Which parts?
The meat angels, or
And the other reality that Dan's Hex Eye would have seen too in that spot was a familiar spot of a forest in the middle of nowhere that has a ring of gray cherry blossom trees and then a giant tree where the obelisk should have been that our friend Theron was getting healed back to health at. So that's originally where Nyla was at.
Yeah.
That's who she is. This was a cursed version of her.
Technically, my character's still
Midjourney
there.
didn't reject it.
There you go.
Once that comes
If
through,
you
I'll
wanna
put
see
it
that
in the
image.
DOK episode discussion.
Oh,
That's
beautiful.
right. Come join the Discord.
Join the Discord.
But yeah, that was Heart. Heart's a great game.
It is.
I love it a lot.
That was my first time playing it, and that was fantastic. I keep recommending it to like all of my friends. I'm like, need to play Heart.
So
Yeah.
I've played. This is my third Heart campaign. I've never played Spire, which is Heart is based off of, but I don't know if I've got a lot of interest to play Spire because it's more city based and you know.
Spire came before this game too.
It
Like
did.
this is like Spire 2.0 with
It's
a
the
different
Spire
theme.
spinoff.
It might be fun to play Spire sometime, and then, when the chips are down, in comes
Sir
Sir Galvin to just stop
Yeah.
him.
Fucking Galvin.
Yeah. I've thought about because the game system I'm making is loosely based on Heart. A lot of mechanics are inspired by that. I've thought about running like a one shot or something in Spire just so I can have an excuse to look up Spire lore,
Sure.
but in my system.
Yeah.
But something like that might be down the road.
Okay.
But yeah, so that wraps up this. Everyone got their beats and their zeniths.
Yeah.
Left the world in a better state than I thought it was going to be in.
Yeah.
Who'd
So
have fucking thunk it?
that's
Surprising.
That's,
too. Okay.
very surprising. Surprising for one of my campaigns.
We did it good on accident, sort of.
Yeah, worked out. So from here, I'm working on my game system in the background while Chuck's going to be running something else.
I am.
So what else do we have in store
Oh,
here?
I was distracted by the images that Midjourney gave me. Yeah, you want to know about what we got going. All right, so every single Wednesday right here on twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt, I am running an Aliens campaign called All Fear the Ishtar. Dan and John are in that. We're getting very close, and Bert, who's Steam Steal and Murder in the chat, we're getting very close to wrapping up our second chapter, which is our Space Pirates. This is going to be a many 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 chapter campaign told non-chronologically that tells the story of what the Ishtar is and why everyone should be afraid of it. So Saturday, which is technically tonight for those of us in Central Time, over on Goodman Games Official, Bert is running us through a Weird Frontiers campaign. Joe is in that, playing a fucking gambler, throwing magic card fireballs. Jake is in that, playing a Frenchman who can speak with the dead. Dan is in that as a gunslinger who has 100% of Dan's luck. And I am in that playing an occultist who adopted Jeremy's zombie character as my son. Maybe that says something about me, that I tend to... Anyway, April can relate.
Adopt
my
wayward
character
children.
speaks with the dead. Yours just adopts
What's that?
them. So
You're adopting wayward children.
I'm adopting wayward children. I'm collecting
And really, my
strays
character's
to make
just
a
an
cult.
alcoholic.
Fair.
It's always good at.
That sometimes you just jam into gears to keep things from moving around.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I still can't believe that fucking worked.
Who'd have done that?
Worked super well.
critical success.
It worked
Yeah.
amazingly well.
I was planning on it making the check easier, but you crit succeeded. I'm like, it just does it.
It does it. We're fine. Yeah. So, okay. It's at the end of the stream. We're what? 2 hours and 5 minutes into this episode. I'm going to put some spoilers out there for our upcoming campaign so everyone knows what you're prepared for. We are going to be starting a Tales from the Loop campaign next Friday, this time slot. Those of you watching it now, you're going to get the lowdown and dirty. 15 minutes in, Dan is going to cause the apocalypse by his shitty dice rolls.
It's just gonna happen. I mean, we all know.
Which means 16 minutes in, we are kicking into a brand new America campaign that is Dungeon Crawl Classics and post-apocalyptic... John, say the word.
Post-apocalyptic.
Thank you. World.
That was Chuck's Deus Ex Machina.
It was. It really was.
Scott saved. You blew it already in one.
Yep.
I'm done with the episode.
So yeah, Umerica, and we're going to be calling it Mutated Teenage Monstrosity. So if you liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you like Dungeon Crawl Classics, if you like Mutant Crawl Classics, if you like the classic video game / TV show / cartoon, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, this is going to be it for you. Let's put some spoilers out there. Joe, what kind of character can we expect from you?
I'm a badger.
You are a fucking badger. John?
Yep.
I am an overweight teenage boy with a mushroom for a head and iron skin.
Jake?
I'm a rock man with a gun.
You're a rock man with a gun. Dan?
Pretty much just a very sturdy thing with lots of arms and lots of legs, mutant monster.
Nice. April?
Just gonna punch them.
Am very spiky and very hard to catch like a cat, and
Yeah.
also very woobly like Luffy.
Super
Nice.
woobly.
Very
We
woobly.
really tried to pressure April into taking the fucking like gaseous
Oh,
mutation.
Oh god.
Yeah, we tried to turn her into
She
a
could fly.
fart abomination.
We tried to turn April into a fart abomination, but
Missed opportunity.
April said no thank you.
Mm.
And I'm disappointed.
I'm very glad.
You know what?
I'll
I
try-
don't expect anything
Give me the level
else
2
from you
check.
at
I'll
this
see if I
point.
can get it for you.
Thank you, John. So yeah, next week, false
Yeah, I just need to
intro.
microwave one of our characters again.
Yeah, false intro for Tales from the Loop campaign. We're going to immediately fuck shit up and go into America Mutated Teenage Monstrosities. So that's what's happening next Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It'll be very fun.
Yeah.
And while we're running that, I'm going to be working on finishing up my game system. So the next campaign I run after that is hopefully campaign 1 of Anvia.
It is going to be true, yeah. After
That's
we
all I
finish
want
up
to.
Mutated Teenage Monstrosities, you're going to get an exclusive sneak peek of the game that Joe is making. Yeah. And I'm going to try and break it by playing a spell slinging bush. That is my goal. I'm going to play a fucking shrub who can cast spells, who's going to ruin Joe's life.
Yep.
Do the curtains
Yeah,
match
that'd be
the drapes?
They do. They do. Check out
They
my
also
only
cast
feats
spells.
for confirmation on that.
Your only ferns?
My only
Ferns.
Fucking Christ.
There it is.
That's
There it
good.
is.
That is good.
Very good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's everything we've got
No,
in
it's
the
not.
works. So, oh,
John.
is there?
Yeah. So every Tuesday and Thursday over on the
Oh, yeah.
Defenders of Cobalt YouTube channel, you can
And
catch.
podcast
and podcast, yes. You can catch our Pathfinder 2nd Edition Age of Ashes Adventure Path actual play. And oops, they're all goblins, and it's not chaotic in the least. It's so straight-laced and organized, and there's not people running in fear through door after door.
Seducing in the swamp water.
Yeah, I would like to point out that this campaign is so fucking wild. I played the responsible person, the responsible goblin. We got fucking Steven from Adventures of Lollygagging playing our bard. We've got Trey playing our barbarian. April's playing our rogue. Are you a rogue?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you had magical shit too.
No?
Yeah, you do.
Do I? Well,
yeah,
I mean, kind of, but I don't really use it.
You've got the Eldritch background thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, April plays a goblin named Dabra, and I play a goblin named Sean, who is the responsible party member, who is a sorcerer, but because I'm dealing with a party of goblins, I devoted all of my shit into healing. Yeah.
And don't forget there's puppies.
And we adopt everything. It's fucking
Yeah.
Pokemon with goblins. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, you're probably looking at you have 9 canine creatures of some kind.
We each started with a dog. April, yours
You
was
started
named
with a
what?
dog.
Rock.
And Trey's, I don't remember. Steven's, all I know is Trey's was a Chihuahua. Steven's Bruiser.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember Steven's. Mine is a goblin dog named Swamp Ass. We adopted 2 warg puppies,
Chuck and Steven.
Chuck and Steven.
Yep. And then there are the 3 other goblin dogs that were in the foyer.
Oh, shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking Pokemon. That's really what Goblin Pokemon meets Pathfinder.
And Steven's character doesn't know the difference between a sphinx and dragons or lizards.
He does not.
He's supposed to be the smart one.
He's the
That's
pretty
not an
one. That's
important
what he's
difference.
supposed to be. It's the pretty one. We still haven't figured out who the smart one is.
He's got the best voice, so
He does.
you know.
That's it. That's all we
Awesome.
got. Anyone else want to say anything?
Alrighty.
Boogers.
Boogers.
Gerbils.
From Defenders of Cobalt, this episode was sponsored by, I don't even remember. It's sponsored by Boogers. Fuck you, everyone else.
Oh, it's sponsored by the Murdoch Shopping Center.
Sponsored by the Murdoch Shopping Center.
Oh, actually, I do have a quick advertisement for one of
That's-
the stores in the Murdoch Center shopping mall.
I like it.
Okay. Vampires. Alluring. Exotic. Sparkly. The love of your life not only loves vampires, she wishes she could glisten like one. Show her how you really feel about her wants, her needs, her desires, with a gift from Van Helsing's diamonds. Each necklace, each ring, each piece of fine jewelry shines with an authentic vampiric sparkle, thanks to Dutch Van Helsing's passionate, unending quest to slake inhuman appetites. This year, don't let her needs go unanswered. Ignite the flames of passion and strike at the heart of the matter with Van Helsing's diamonds. Now at the Murdoch Center shopping.
Fantastic.
A fucking applause.
Phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Van Helsing's
Been too long.
diamonds. That is
That
much
is
appreciated.
wonderful.
All right. Well, with that, thanks for watching, everybody. It was a fun campaign. I'm kind of surprised we got a rep tonight. It was good. Stay on
We
task.
did it. We did it.
Got everything done.
Every
We
now and
squeezed
then.
it in right at the
It was
end.
awesome. We'll be back here with some things from the flood or tales from the loop, whatever.
Whatever. it
Thanks,
is.
Bud. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing next week. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye.
All right.
Bye.